Hey guys, good morning. Me and Keita are coming to you live. Well, we're not live, but we're coming sending morning greetings. This is my dog Keita. Say what's up to the peoples. All right, you'll tell them later. All right, guys. Hello. So, all right, normally you just gonna sit there? All right. Normally, when I do my videos, I just kind of talk about what's on my mind, not so much topics. But today, I got a topic to talk about because I'm super irritated and I just need to talk about this, okay? So, Kita, you're interrupting the show. You can't be all up on the camera. What are you doing? All right, so she's a Nikita, in case anyone asks. So I want to talk about the Real Housewives, okay? Now, I want to talk about which one of them, Portia? I want to talk about all of them. I cracked myself up. I actually don't want to talk about all of them, but I do want to talk about something about them. So let's go. So now I have watched all of them. And when I say all of them, I'm including Australia and I'm including London. You know what? I think London might have been called Ladies of London. That might not have been a Real Housewife. But all right. Anyway, you get the point. So I watched Miami, which was terrible, awful. I watched DC. I watched all of Orange County. Well, okay. So I stopped watching maybe like a year ago, right? But up until that point, I had seen all of Atlanta, all of Orange County, all of Beverly Hills, all of them, okay? The only one that I'm watching right now is Salt Lake City. I didn't even watch Potomac, which is crazy. Wait a minute, Real House, yeah, that's a Potomac. Okay, yeah, I didn't watch Potomac as a Housewives. I didn't watch Potomac, even though I probably still will. And I didn't watch Orange County, even though Heather came back. I thought that might be kind of interesting, but I'm not like the biggest Heather Dubrow fan, so okay. Now, here's what I'm irritated about. First of all, Atlanta. Okay. Now, on Atlanta, I like Candy. I like Marlo. I love Marlo. I'm so excited that this girl has gotten a peach. I love Marlo. Um, I'm excited Sheree is coming back. I was very glad to say goodbye to Nene. Kenya's cool. She can stay. She's good for a couple laughs. Cynthia, who I love, but Cynthia's not coming back, so that's okay. And I don't remember anybody else, but mm, and the whole person I want to talk about, which is Portia, my namesake. You know, she wasn't named after me. Although, you know, I do have a cousin that was named after me. But anyway, so Portia, I'm so irritated about this whole thing. Can I just tell you this? Because Atlanta is, well, no, I don't think they're coming back anytime soon, but right now, Bravo is showing this absurd show with Portia and Simon. Now, if you don't know, all right, this is getting ready to be complicated. Well, not that complicated. All right, so last season, there's Fallon, who was on the show. She was like a friend to the Housewives. And then Portia is a regular cast member. Now, Fallon was engaged to this guy, Simon, right? Fallon and Simon broke up. And then here are all the cast members, okay? Here's Simon. So now he's married to this cast member, right? Fallon. They break up. And now he's engaged to this cast member, Portia. That is hella tacky, okay? And I don't care if they weren't friends. I don't care if she only barely knew the girl. I don't care what the situation is. There are enough men in the world that this woman is not supposed to be engaged in 5 minutes to this other woman's ex-husband. And when they got engaged, they weren't even divorced. No. Mm-mm. So now this show on Bravo, which I heard is terrible, I'm not watching this nonsense. No, I'm not supporting this. And I understand, I'm sure that Portia will be back on Atlanta next season, which is fine because it is kind of interesting, but not enough. I don't want to watch the whole show about this. Like, no, I'm not supporting that. Now, Candy has a new show that's coming out. I'm not exactly sure when, but the new show is like it's like behind the scenes, I guess, of the old lady gang restaurants, which is cool. And at first, I thought, well, I mean, even though I'm saying it's cool, at first I was like, I'm not watching that, until someone described it as the Black Vanderpump Rules. And then I was like, oh, okay, so I might watch that, because I used to watch Vanderpump Rules. But let me get back to the Housewives, and then because I can talk about Bravo shows all day long, and I probably will. I'm sure I probably will. But let me get back to the Housewives. So now I'm currently watching Salt Lake City, and this is what I need to talk about. So obviously, I'm going to talk about Jen Shaw. All right. Oh God, this girl gets on my nerves. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jen has been federally indicted, okay? Federally indicted for money laundering and fraud and a whole bunch of other nonsense, not nonsense, like big stuff that she's going to go to prison for. So on the show, they show like Homeland Security and FBI and all these people, came to arrest her. And that was this season. Okay, so what irritates me about this situation is that right now on the show, Jen is trying to blame one of the other cast members, Meredith, for her getting arrested. And so she keeps saying like, "Oh, did you do something to try to set me up? Because I'm innocent." Girl, bye. It gets on my nerves every time they show that. Like, seriously, are we supposed to believe that this woman, Meredith, like, came up with some, evidence and gave it to the FBI to get Jen arrested? Like, girl, shut up with that nonsense. Like, this is the Homeland Security and the FBI. They are not worried about your Real Housewives nonsense. If anything, I would think that they would be extra cautious when arresting you because they don't want to look like assholes. Excuse me. I said I was going to curse on this thing. They don't want to look like idiots. So they would have, I would think, an abundance of caution, right? That makes sense. And so now what we're talking about Atlanta, or excuse me, Salt Lake City, let's just break it down with these girls, okay? All right, so there's Mary M. Crosby. Now, Mary M. Crosby, many of you will know, Mary M. Crosby is married to her step grandfather. You heard what I said. I said step grandfather. That's who she's married to. That's Mary M. Cosby. She has a church. They're trying to say now that the church is a cult and blah, 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 blah. I don't know that that's true, but I do know that, Mary's supposed to be a woman of God and she will tell people quick, fast, and in a hurry, you don't mean anything. I don't like you. You're not important. Like, it, I understand that a woman of God would, anyone, like, obviously, Mary is human, so I got that, right? But she is really ignorant to be a woman of God. And truth be told, with her, I kind of think she is in the same situation that Nene was in from Atlanta a couple of years ago when Nene and Greg split up. And I honestly think that Mary is just miserable in her relationship and hurt people, right? You heard that saying before? Hurt people, hurt people. I think Mary is hurt right now, and she's just lashing out at anybody around her. That's Mary. All right, then we got the twins, who are not really twins, but I'm calling them twins because they are both white women of a particular age with dark hair, and they look a lot alike. So we've got Meredith, who is married to, I think his name is Seth. I'm not a big fan of Meredith. She's kind of boring. She has a like a upper crust kind of Connecticut accent. I don't care for her. She's kind of boring. Her son is a fashion designer. who may or may not be gay. Not that it matters, but it's part of the storyline of the show. This whole thing from last season, that's boring. Lisa owns a tequila company. She's got a couple kids. Her husband seems nice enough. She's a little boring too. She could probably go. Now, Whitney Rose is this is Salt Lake City, okay? She's a blonde girl with all kinds of tattoos and big old baked breasts and a husband who is, I think, maybe like 15 years older than her, something like that. But and she's got a stripper pole in her house somewhere, and she's good at it too. I like Whitney. I like her a lot. She can stay. And then we've got what's the other girl's name? Heather. Heather Heather's cool. She could probably stay. She for me, listen, this is just me. I don't want to sound prudish or anything, but she's got kids, daughters that are like teenage age. And she talks a lot about wanting to have sex, and I'm not a big fan of that. Like, if your kids are going to watch you on television, I don't know that you should be talking about, how much you want to ride a black penis. I'm telling you, you know what? I shouldn't have said that because I don't remember her specifically saying that, but she has been close to it, right? And it doesn't matter that it was black, it's just because I only really say it because she's a Mormon, she's blonde lady, she's talks about like her religious upbringing and she was a good girl and whatever. Anyway, so you just wouldn't expect her to pop out with, rap lyrics and that, she wants to date 50 Cent. She didn't say that either, but you understand the point that I'm trying to make. Okay, so that's Salt Lake City. So it's very interesting to me that this girl, Jen, who is accused of doing all these things, federal crimes, that she went on this show because allegedly this thing has been going on for a minute. But that just goes to show everybody wants to be famous. It doesn't matter, what the, like eh, that you're committing a crime, right? And here's the thing. Okay. Teresa in New Jersey. Oh, God, I'm getting hot. Teresa in New Jersey, she went to prison, but she went to prison for something that Joe did. I don't think Teresa knew what Joe was doing. Teresa's not like the smartest cookie in the bag. And then so that's New Jersey, and then Erica Jane, who I love. You're not never gonna tell me that Pat the Puss. You know what I'm saying? Pat the Puss. She is everything, Erica Jane. Um, Erica Jane, but I don't believe. Okay, so Erica Jane's husband was a very powerful attorney. Well, yeah, was. He's alive, but I don't know if he's been indicted all the way yet, but he's been accused of embezzling like hundreds of millions of dollars from people. Um, and I don't think that she knew what that man was doing. When they got married, Erica was like 25 years younger than him. So look, he's like 55, she's like 25. That's more than 25 years. That's 30, whatever. It was something like that. And there is no way that this man was coming home and discussing his embezzling with his young, hot, blonde wife. She was not there because she is that intelligent. I'm not saying that she's not, but I'm saying, like, come on. Like, who are we fooling here? There's a real inequity of, power and money and prestige and all that. So, he was parading his hot little wife around. I don't think that girl knew what that man was doing, at least not in the beginning. Now, at some point, maybe she figured it out. I don't know. They say she has a pair of earrings worth $1.5 million, and you gotta embezzle one hell of a lot of money for to be able to have earrings. We're not talking about a house or a car. We're talking about earrings for $1.5 million. That's crazy. But if you got it, I'm sure Oprah has some too. Whatever. Um, so that's the so the point is, I don't think that Erica knew anything about it. those are the other people that were indicted. In Jen Shaw's case, Jen Shaw is accused of doing something herself, not like the other girls. This is herself. And the only other time that I can remember a woman housewife like being charged with something was, let's see, listen, you got to be a real housewives fan to get down with what I'm about to say right now, okay? On DC, right? And DC was like, it had to have been on it like 10 years ago, maybe more. On DC, there was a couple, I want to say their name was the Salahis, and they were a white couple. I only say that because Salahi, like, it sounds maybe like Muslim or something to me. And they're, I mean, I guess white people could be Muslim too, but whatever. Anyway, I'm trying to describe to you who these people are. So there's like a tall blonde lady and her shorter husband. There are two white people. There's Salahis, and they like snuck into the White House or something like that. Like they had like a fraudulent invitation to maybe like, no, it wasn't the State of the Union address, but it was some kind of diplomatic dinner, right? And and I want to say they actually got in, and I'm pretty sure that they were both charged with something. So in that instance, that was something that the housewife actually did, as opposed to the other ones whose husbands did things. So I felt like railing about the housewives. Hope y'all don't mind, but I'm figuring that most of the people who probably watch my videos are women. And we like the housewives, right? I don't know. All right, so if you guys think something different, let me know. But I'm gonna give you my prediction, okay? So Jen Shaw going to prison. I'm going with 12 years. It's on video now. I can't say I didn't say it. All right. So this video is a little bit longer, but I want to talk about stuff today. I hope I look okay. Oh, wow, this is way longer, this video. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Sending love.